Now look, this article is from 2016, but I do believe it also has carries some weight to today's modern entertainment, right? Because you see, you ask, why do they take, say, comics, for example, and they defeminize the women? The art looks uglier. Right? It looks like something I could draw if I shove a pen up my ass and just start wiggling it about on a piece of paper. Why they always have to inject political statements in current day. Again, say like a DC comic, right? Why have to, change the story, change the characters just to fit a purpose and change a message, and why it's not about the comic itself. It's about the author using the comic as like a VTuber to spout their nonsense. And you wonder why they're doing this, right? And you think it's because they legitimately think this way. And maybe they do, right? I got the fucking hiccups. This happens every fucking time I start a video. Again, you think it's because they legitimately think this, right? They're grown ass adults with the mindset of 12-year-old girls, right? So what is this article? How to de-objectify women. You think it is because they believe it, and you're probably about a fourth right. Like, they probably think they're doing a good thing, even though they know it's not what the market wants, it's not what people are going to pay for, and they go after anyone who talks shit about this idea, right? But in actuality, like, okay, from a corporate level, you're making a product as cheap as possible, right? You don't need to take time for story writers. You don't really need to pay premium for artists. You don't need to even pay for a PR team because, again, all you have to do is uh, adopt this ideology, and just people from the woodwork out of nowhere on Twitter will defend you, right? I guess from the artist perspective, again, it's an easy, cushy job, and again, you legitimately probably believe you're doing it right, doing a good thing, and it's a multi-billion-dollar company. So either way, you get a paycheck. Middle management, well, again, it's you're the HR lady who gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're the consultant. You don't have to put in any work or really even have you don't have to have any experience in writing comics, right? You don't have to write a comic or draw art pieces. You go to a university to study, I don't know, de-objectifying classes. And again, it's the and the HR lady, so she hires you because, again, at the end of the day, this, I guess, what people consider woke ideology is just ideological nepotism, right? So, and if you look at it through these lens, right, like, it makes sense why they do this. Again, America's goes through these things called moral panics. It's like if we're not having some moral panic about something, it's like you need to check our pulse because it's like we're not even alive. And you see that again when all this happens. You drive away your consumers, you drive away the fans, you drive away the market, and I guess you get ESG money, or I guess in the case of heroic girls, you get people donating. The Heroic Girls Foundation is 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to improving representation for women and girls in pop culture in order to achieve gender equality in the real world. Like, again, they legitimately believe, or at least they're really riding the grift that, oh, it's fiction, therefore reality. you know, the thing that, at the age of 3, you can tell the difference between what is fiction and what is reality. It's like, no, that to them, no, you're not, you can't, because it's the grift, right? And they demand everyone else's money. They could create their own comics, right? Well, I doubt anyone would buy them, because at the end of the day, the market is the market. And you can try to shame the market, but it's like, okay, I'm going to take my wallet and I'm going to go to anime. Because the Japanese man slaving away at a piece of paper for 12 hours a day, he knows what the market wants, right? The Japanese woman who made Demon Slayer, which that movie outsold, I think it was the Godzilla movie and the King Kong movie that year. Like, she knows what the market wants, but apparently, I guess, or at least the ideological corporate American doesn't. Right? And, okay, you ask, why is she made like this? Well, I mean, it's because it's easier and cheaper to make her like this. Like, the reason the suit's skin tight is because it's easier to make and it looks good. Because again, if you're drawing panels, you need to draw like what? Couple hundred of them a month, within a month, right? You're gonna go for not entirely the cheapest art style, but cheap but looks presentable. Like again, and America created this idea, right? With Disney animations. Like, the Disney animations created this. Having the cheapest art style that still looks presentable, right? And Japan perfected this to a T. And even, especially now, because this takes more time, more effort. Like, on the right, this takes more time and more effort, and it also doesn't look presentable, right? Like, between the left and the right, I'm gonna choose this one anytime. And again, they use the artist's subjective argument, but they know objectively what to take away, you know, to make the one on the right. As an artist, what I can consider is what if I want to de-objectify and add power to a female. Again, why isn't this powerful? Like, this is like the Bayonetta type of power, like oozing femininity, right? This is power. This looks odd and awkward and just weird, right? She even has the high heels in this. Well, these are stilettos. These are the high heels, right? This oozes power. Like, if you're some goofy teenager that can barely look a woman in the eyes, like, wouldn't be able to look at this. This is like, oh, well, this just looks like the bartender at Starbucks. Hey, how's it going? How Did You Objectify Women in Comics by Renee D. Liz. Want to challenge yourself to focus less on objectification and more on a character? You're helping change things. You'll be my personal hero. What the fuck is this? I hate how they talk to you like you're 5. Like, look, excuse me, I don't want to diss this woman, but we're trying to make money here. You buffoon. Right? Why would you make an inferior product? Right? Like, I don't understand the idea. Drawing women sexy is an automatic response to many artists, done without thought. So now she's saying you're dumb? Like, no, it's done it is done with thought. Like, they think this is going to sell, so let's do this. I was like that for so many years until I recognized it. So you made money for so many years until you decided you didn't want to. If you choose to draw women sexy, that's fine. Discussing alternative and recognizing patterns should not threaten you. My intent is to help those who want to provide change to their work, which can be challenging, not to shame those who choose otherwise. I choose Power Girl with boob window because she's often objectified to show even to show even she can be drawn differently if an artist considers certain things. I mean, again, this looks like it takes more time and effort. And I'm not saying she looks ugly per se. I'm just saying if you want to sell, Power Girl is an object, literally. She is lines on a piece of paper. You cannot objectify an object. Like, what world do we live in where drawings deserve rights? Right? Like, what is this Looney Tune ass world? Right? This sells. This is inclusive because this went around the world. Like, the picture on the left went around the world. Like, I'm pretty sure there's people in Africa that knows who Power Girl is, right? And again, with other comics, like America created this way of spreading its culture worldwide through entertainment. And again, Bollywood from India does the same thing. Anime from Japan does the exact same thing. I mean, this is the way. But this, I guarantee you will sell better than this. And again, this is meant for men in their adolescence. So, and again, what do guys in their adolescence want? They want sex and violence. Like, that's literally it. And I know you think it's bad, but look, I can differentiate between fact and fiction, right? What I want in fiction and what I want in reality are two completely separate things, right? Now, your brain might not be as developed enough. Like, I'm probably in like the fifth dimension with my mindset, and you're still in the second, right? But it's something you can do. It is possible. But again, unless you're riding the grift, because at this point it is a grift, right? It is making money off of victimization. I mean, you want people to donate to you, right? I mean, if you want this, like, make your own comic. And I know I'm talking to an article in like the 2016, like it's today, but it's absolutely what's the word I'm looking for? It absolutely applies to today because now this is on the corporate level of Western entertainment, right? Like, you are forced to make the thing on the right, even knowing good and well that the thing on the left will sell. Left counter expression. I don't care about all the bullet points that you pointed out. Another note on breasts: if your hero has a zipped top, don't unzip it. Why? Look, what if that pixel's hot? Look, if you go outside, right, say on the beach, and it's 90 fucking degrees, like, you're going to see the unzipped. You're going to see breasts. Breasts can easily fall out during the hero's work, which would be silly. Again, they're using current day real world in a comic like it's fiction. Like, you can make it to where her boobs are like fucking statues and they don't flop at all. Like, what is this real world bullcrap you're throwing into my fiction, right? If you want to make a hero, if you want to make a comic, and you believe that what you're saying is true, right? Do that, and then and ask people to pay for it, right? Don't want people to don't. I keep saying demand, but like, people of this ideology legitimately demand you give them their money, right? If you don't, you're a sexist, you're a racist, you're and what they want to do is they want to catch that one person that's like, oh well, I'm not a sexist. Here, just take my money. Just throws a wallet at their face. Like they want to catch just that one person, that one gullible fucking idiot. That I guess they want to treat like a pay pig. But again, the majority of people aren't going to go for the, or I guess a fringe minority of ideologically possessed people will choose the one on the right over the one on the left. And this is if you have to choose, right? If you slap this in front of people, again, an adolescent male's fucking face, which, again, was the point of comics, to show itself to this demographic. If you slap this in front of their face, they're obviously going to choose the image on the left. I mean, it's called marketing. Like, people have this down to a science. It's only ideology that demands otherwise. Nothing else, consider this. Would I do this to a male character? Would you perk out Batman's butt and twist him to see both his pecs? Yeah, I mean, why do you think Aquaman sold? Like, Aquaman sold, is it Chris Hemsworth that plays? No, he plays Thor. Oh, Thor too. I mean, why do you think it has a big group of women seeing that movie, right? Because it was Thor being Thor, you know. Right? If you did this, I mean, again, I wouldn't care. And again, if that's what gets the female demographic in the comics, go right ahead. Again, we're trying to equate lines on the paper to real women, and again, my brain just cannot do this. I just touched the tip of the iceberg with this. If you have your own advice, please share it. What is this other stuff? Comments. Let's read comments. How do you objectify women in comics? There are no women in comics, just fictional characters. You can't de-objectify fictional characters for the same reason you can't objectify fictional characters. Because fictional characters aren't people. They are objects. Objectification is a blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, you might be a little bit stupid, but is he wrong? Again, how is this stupid? He's spitting facts. But you might be a little bit stupid. Yeah, whatever. And that's not a rebuttal. Go back and try again. This time be brave. Actually tag me in the reply. Man going on a tirade. I'm surprised they even allowed this comment, because most comments like this get immediately erased. This entire article shows how you can de-objectify a fictional character in a comic. Yeah. And, I mean, the article is ideologically possessed and wrong. I mean, we're just talking one person who made an article. Like, again, people think this way, that because it's an article, therefore it's reality. And the person writing it is like a fucking politician, like fucking Jesus Christ. No. It's just one person writing an article, and they could easily be as wrong as you and I. Like, come on, man. You can't objectify a fictional character, Catherine. They are already an object. Yeah. Brilliant. How to draw women in comics so less young males will buy them. Absolutely. There are other groups with more money that can be targeted. We know what awful creatures those young males grow up to be. Oh my god, this person has drunk the stupid juice. Again, being incapable of telling fact from fiction is, like, I think that's a legitimate mental illness, right? you look at something on like pixels on the screen and you're like, oh, this must be real. And again, this idea of reaching the wider audience, like you'll be surprised. This the idea of the wider audience doesn't exist, but there are other groups with more money that can be targeted. Yeah, I guess parents of those young males that have money and are like, oh hey, I like this comic. I'm gonna have my child see. I mean, you're right, but again, going back to the picture, like, why would you punish your young? And I'm assuming teens, right? Your young teen with the picture on the right and not the picture on the left. I mean, it's just, I'm not buying it. Oh God! If I make comment, the figure on the right has more realistic proportions, to be honest. The one on the left is more classic cartoon pinup and style. I don't think narrative have to be defined by artistic preference, though. I mean, Amanda Connor draws Peach and other ladies in a very attractive way, and also has great storytelling to go with those designs. But in the same token, I have seen an abundance of designs that are more or less shameless cheesecake couples with garbage writing in my time. Most notably on crowdfunding sites for some reason. It all depends on your audience and the story you want to tell, I suppose. Again, we're talking comics that are made for adolescent men. Young adolescent, like I guess between the ages of 16 and 19 or 18, right? And again, I guess it doesn't matter, but it's like seasoning on a 5-star Michelin steak at a restaurant. Like, it's not bad without the seasoning, but it's like if you know the seasoning makes it better, why remove it? Like, and this is what's happening, right? You have the seasoning on the steak, and the restaurant's just brushing it off like, no, you're not allowed to have this. This is evil. This is bad. The seasoning is bad. It's like, but why? It's like they're wiping it off in front of you, the paying fucking customer. It's like, well, why? It's what I ordered. Or at least it came with the steak when I looked at the description. Nah, this is bad. This is evil. Wipe. De-objectify women by adding masculine features to them. All this is saying that a woman is not good enough unless she shifts from feminine archetype towards traditional masculine archetypes in both attitude and physicality. So the perfect woman is a woman that looks and acts like a man. They legitimately believe this, right? You know, the people who demand that art changes, like they believe power lies in masculinity, right? So that's what they add. It's what they add in the Marvel movies. I mean, it's legit. It's what they believe. It boggles my mind. Like I think it's idiotic, right? But whatever. Feminism is so convoluted and self-defeating. I mean, it absolutely is. Again, and you have waves of feminism that kind of contradict each other. It's like feminism at one point. Again, the whole point of Wonder Woman was she can wear whatever the fuck she wants. So she had the cleavage out, like she wore the fucking, the goddamn, tight pants, or like technically the underwear, and anyone had a problem with it can kiss her ass. But now it's, oh no, every character needs to be under Sharia and cover up. It's like it's like the skirt measuring evangelical Christians from the 1800s have weaseled their way into feminism. This should be called How to Turn a Woman to a Man. My daughter is a gymnast and has rockin' abs, but they still look soft looking, not like a male six. Again, they don't look at women in real life that are physically active. They have an idea and they just impose it on everybody else and be like, you should think this way too. But anyway, I mean, again, old article, but this is absolutely applicable today. And it's a very interesting and idiotic article. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. Peace.